When we need to connect different clauses, combine sentences, or express relationships between parts in a sentence, conjunctions come to play. It is boring to use just simple sentences in an entire paragraph. Not only is it boring, but also it is a hindrance towards a complete understanding of what we want to communicate to our readers or listeners. So, to avoid the overuse of simple sentences, we need to have a good grasp of conjunctions to play around with words and write other types of sentences. There are 3 types of conjunctions, and let's talk about the first one in this video. Coordinating conjunctions. These conjunctions are used to join or connect two or more words, phrases, or clauses. Now, what is a word? What is a phrase? And what is a clause? Let's create a pyramid for better understanding. The first one in this structure should be letters, to be followed by words, and then phrases, clauses, and sentence finally. A word is a distinct element of speech formed by letters to create a specific meaning. A phrase is a group of 2 or more words that functions either as a noun, verb, adjective, or another part of speech. A clause is a group of 2 or more words that contains a subject and a verb that can or cannot portray a complete thought. Sometimes it can be a simple sentence. When we want to join 2 or more words, phrases, or clauses, dependent or independent, we use coordinating conjunctions. We only have 7 coordinating conjunctions abbreviated into FANBOYS: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Let's discuss when should we use each one. And in a separate video, we'll discuss how we should use them too. Let's start with for. This conjunction is used to give a reason for something. It is primarily used to connect 2 independent clauses, introducing the second clause as the reason for the first one. It is more like a substitute for the word because, although it is more formal. So, whenever we connect 2 independent clauses stating a reason, we can use for. For example, I will not join the contest, for I am not good at feature writing. She will go home, for she is sick. The teacher scolded her students, for they did not submit their outputs in time. Notice all the examples here. They all contain 2 independent clauses joined by the conjunction for. The first clauses are the effects of the second clauses. If we replace for with because, the meaning will remain the same. We'll just have to remove the comma to make it proper. And. The coordinating conjunction and can join words, phrases, and 2 independent clauses too. And it is basically used to add one element to another. Example: Jasmine, Katie, and Rose are joining the dance club. She is beautiful and smart. Grace submitted her project and she will go home now. Notice the elements we added to another element using and. In the first sentence, we added one noun to other nouns. In the second sentence, we added an adjective to another adjective. And finally, in the third sentence, we added one independent clause to another independent clause. Next, nor. Nor is used to present an additional negative idea when a negative idea has already been said. It is often used to join 2 negative independent clauses. For example, she doesn't like coffee, nor does she enjoy tea. The kids haven't tried ginger tea, nor do they want to try it. Rico is not tech savvy, nor is he fond of technology. Each of the sentences also contains 2 independent clauses connected by nor. The first clauses are already negative because of the adverbs not. Since we added the second negative clauses, we had to use nor. In this type of sentence, we use the negative inversion in the second clause. If you notice, the second independent clauses look like some words have been interchanged. Normally, independent clauses start with the subject to be followed by the verb. These clauses should be like this, but since we have to apply negative inversion, So what we did was rearrange the subject and some parts of the verb. The general action verbs go first, followed by the subject, and then the main verb. We'll talk more about negative inversion in a separate video. What we need to focus on now is when to use this conjunction. Nor is not only used for connecting two negative independent clauses. It can be used to connect two elements that are not independent clauses too. It could be two verbs, two adjectives, or two nouns. Some grammarians disagree with this style, but many do not. But let's have examples. She can't sing nor dance. Tina isn't nice nor cool. She can't eat shrimps nor lobsters. As mentioned earlier, some grammarians disagree with this style, and they prefer or instead of nor. Example: she can't sing or dance. Tina isn't nice or cool. She can't eat shrimps or lobsters. Neither of these styles is incorrect, so don't worry much about that. But is used to introduce a contrast with previous information. It can be used to join an independent clause to a phrase or another independent clause. Example: she is smart but is not arrogant. They want to join the football team, but they can't. I would love to talk to you more, but we don't have a remaining time. Notice that in the first sentence, we connected one independent clause to a contrasting phrase. After but is a phrase because it does not contain a subject. For the second and third sentences, we connected the independent clauses to other clauses that contrast the ideas. They are all independent clauses because before and after but, they contain a subject and a verb that gives complete thought. Next, or. The conjunction or is used to introduce options or present alternative choices. It can be choices among adjectives, nouns, pronouns, phrases, and independent clauses. For example, would you like a cup of coffee or tea? We can go swimming or go camping. It's either she leaves in a few minutes or she'll get caught in the rain. What do you think of my dress? Good, better, or best? In the first sentence, we presented two options or two nouns. In the second one, we also presented two options, this time, two phrases. In the third one, two options also, but two independent clauses. Finally, in the last one, we introduced three options, and this time, three adjectives. Yet, like but, is used to present contrast. They are basically closely related to each other, but not totally. There is a specific indication when we use yet. The information is surprising, considering that we already know something. For example, the tea was too hot, yet I still had it. The story was saddening, yet full of moral lessons. He made her cry many times, yet she still loves him. Notice the sentences here. In the first sentence, we connected two independent clauses. In the second one, we connected an independent clause and a phrase. And in the third one, we connected two independent clauses too. Each of the sentences contains contrasting ideas against some things we already knew based on the first clauses. And last one, so. So is generally only used to join two independent clauses, where the second clause is a result of the first. If the coordinating conjunction for is used to present a reason why something happens, so is the opposite. It presents an effect of something. Since we are talking about an independent clause, we mean that so is used to present the second independent clause as the effect of the first clause. For example, I'm tall, so these jeans don't fit me. The teacher will be late, so let's just wait for her. These sentences are compound sentences, made of two joined independent clauses. The second clauses are the effects of the first clauses. Now that we're done discussing when we should use these coordinating conjunctions, in a separate video, we'll discuss how we should use them along with some punctuation marks.